My neighbor told me about a woman visiting my boyfriend when I'm gone. Pretend there's an intro video here. Hi guys, let's read some best of Redditor updates today. This one was originally posted to relationship advice. My 22F neighbor, 70s F, told me about a woman, 20s F, visiting my boyfriend, 22M, when I'm gone. Okay, I'm going to keep this short because I really don't know what else to say. Been together with my boyfriend for 3 years and he moved in with me last year. I was already living here for a year or so and developed a friendship with my lovely neighbor. She's retired and a really sweet lady. She basically knows everyone in the neighborhood and sits at home most of the day. Me. So the boyfriend moved in with you already. I'm like, he better not be up to anything. Today she came up to me and said that she had something to tell me, but that I shouldn't get mad at her. What a sweet lady. She doesn't want to ruin their friendship. I told her I would never get angry with her and to go ahead. She said that when I've been gone, probably a late shift or when I'm visiting someone, I don't know, she has seen a woman come into my house and leave before I come back. Now listen, we don't know where this is going yet, but I can tell you one thing, that if I brought a man into my home, and this is why I'm not bringing a man into my home, okay? You want to date me, you get me an apartment, okay? Because I am not getting embarrassed like this. You can buy me a place to live, and you can come there then, that you spent your money on and put in my name, because I'm not being embarrassed like this, taking in a stray and then being treated like I'm his mom and now he has a girlfriend on the side. I'm so repulsed already, but let's stay non-judgmental for now. I pressed her for more details and she said that as far as she knows, she's seen her come by 3 times and that she thought I should know. When she leaves, she hugs/kisses my boyfriend and she believes she stays for at least an hour or 2. Got some generic details from her, but nothing specific. Let's hope it's a sister or something. Let's hope that there's an explanation here. Of course, all alarm bells are going off in my head. There are no signs my boyfriend is cheating. Well, there aren't always signs. And we've talked about how he would rather end things instead. Of course he says that. That's what they all say. Everyone always says the right thing. But we're human beings. We don't always do the right thing. And also, people are selfish. And cheaters especially are selfish. He did start working overtime more. But I have a friend at his company who talked about this too. And he's bringing in bigger paychecks. So that adds up. I don't want to jump to conclusions. That is good, but I do still find it odd that he has the time to have a woman over frequently, but somehow didn't find the time to mention that to you. How do I approach this? What do I do? And how do I confront my boyfriend? I don't know anything for sure, and it could be anything at this point. I'm really freaking out right now. I mean, I think you should just ask him about it. Like directly, like call me naive, but I just feel like you can see by that reaction. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to let on necessarily that I knew something, because what if he then gets sneakier about it, if it is something untoward? So maybe park that. Let's see what the public says. Campus Tour says 2 approaches. Number 1, hey, who's your friend that visits while I'm gone? Exactly. Number 2, I know about the other woman you're seeing. You have one chance to sit down right here, right now, and come clean 100%. Otherwise, you're moving out, and you're moving out now. One lie, one omission, and you're gone. Okay, I do F with this approach. However, it is a bit aggressive when you don't know anything besides the fact that there's a person coming to your house. Again, although I will say I would probably go with number 2, knowing my reactive butt when it comes to who I'm dating. If you in any way fear his reaction or plan on throwing him out anyway, I'd have a few friends on standby. And OP says, this is pretty useful, thanks. I think I'm going with number 1 and work towards 2. If it doesn't check out, I'm confronting him tomorrow. Exactly. But because this is best of Redditor updates, we have an update 3 days later. I almost didn't make this post because I feel so stupid. But there were so many people who wanted an update, so why not? Thanks to everyone who gave advice last time. The next morning, I decided to confront my boyfriend. I wanted the truth from him. I was very upset, to say the least. So I asked him who the woman was that was coming over when I was gone. He looked kind of confused and then started chuckling. I asked him why he was laughing and that I wasn't joking around. He's been preparing to propose to me, and one of my best friends came over to look at rings and talk about how and where he should do it. I felt really guilty for assuming that he was cheating, but even he admitted that it didn't look very good. Okay, this is really cute if it's true. He showed me some of the plans they had made and the texts between them, but that he is going to change things up now that I know. I kind of ruined the surprise, but oh well. I called my friend afterwards and she couldn't believe what happened, and we shared a few laughs. He's been working overtime to get me a ring, and I don't know how I missed all the signs. And see, this is why you do number 1 before you do number 2. Because can you imagine? She only came over twice, so I guess my neighbor is not that sharp anymore, lol. Or maybe the 3rd time was somebody else. Because what do you mean they hugged and kissed? Well, maybe it's a cultural thing. Looking back, it all makes so much sense. My friend has been low-key asking about getting engaged, what kind of ring I would like, etc. I feel really bad and stupid for assuming the worst, but my boyfriend doesn't hold it against me and said he would probably have handled it in the same way. Okay, we love an understanding king. I'm so happy that we're cool now. The thought of cheating was so tough on me. I already called in sick Monday. I mean, honestly, so would I. When I'm in love with somebody, I'm so into them and nobody else. I don't look at other people. I'm not attracted to other people. I'm so like one man at a time that I can't imagine the feeling of betrayal if I thought my boyfriend did not feel the same way. For anyone wondering, I already told him I'm going to say yes. Congratulations, that's so cute. Well, at least the first story of the day had a happy ending. I'm so happy. Yay. Okay, next story. Actually, let's read some more comments. I had an elderly neighbor tell my ex-wife that I had a girl coming over while she was at work. It was my daughter. My dad had a similar situation, another person says. The neighbors gossiping about him shacking up with some young girl at his house. That was me. Fortunately, the other neighbors who had been around longer set them straight. This is so funny. Okay, next story. Dad sent me, female 15, to a boarding school at a young age. Honey, you're still at a young age. Now he's upset that I don't like to spend more time with his family during the summers. His family. Threatening not to send me back to my school this fall. I want to go back. This was originally posted to that was her name. Never mind. Okay, so I've been attending boarding school since I was 10. I started the 5th grade at my boarding school. The reason why I started going so early is that my dad remarried. My mother unsubscribed from life when I was a baby to my stepmom when I was 9. When she got pregnant with my brother, she insisted that I be sent to boarding school so that they could start afresh. Baby, I'm so sorry, both for what your mom did, and also for the step monster that you got instead. I used quotes because I used to hear them talk about it when I still lived there. I actually heard the discussions they'd have at night about it when they thought I was sleeping. Can you imagine being this 8-9-year-old girl, hearing your own dad talk like that, choosing another woman over you, his daughter? Some people just should not be parents. She said a lot of hurtful things then about me potentially being like my mother and potentially being a bad influence on their future children. But I guess she convinced him because he gave in and they sent me away. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But honestly, maybe you were saved a lot of mistreatment not being in a house with that woman. So I went to boarding school. They had my brother and then my sister, and I only see them in the summers and some holidays. In fact, a lot of holidays I spend with my friends' families, which my father has always signed off on. This especially confuses me, considering his change of heart this summer. I mean, I've spent the last 4 Thanksgiving holidays in other people's houses without comment. Oh, baby. At first, I was extremely depressed, of course. I was really attached to my father as a kid, and I can imagine after what happened to your mom, that must have been extra strong because you only had him. I was really attached to my father as a kid, and it took me a long time to deal with being sent away, especially when my siblings were born. I felt a lot of betrayal and resentment. I mean, what else are you supposed to feel? It was betrayal, and that does breed resentment. I can't imagine not being able to watch my baby brother grow up. You were completely entitled to feeling that way. But then I grew to deal with it. What really helped and still helps is that I have a wonderful group of friends at school, and the adults there are really supportive too. Oh my God, that pleases me so much to hear. So often we hear of adults taking advantage of children like this who are clearly being, neglected at home, and predatory adults take advantage of that. So it's really, I'm very grateful that you have these people around you. My closest 2 friends have been there since I've been there. I feel like they're my family, and they are. Also, a lot of the kids I go to school with deal with what I'm dealing with in some form or the other, and this has given me a lot of perspective. See, this is so important that when we experience a type of trauma, one of the most damaging parts of it is when we feel isolated and alone with it. So while it is even sadder to me that there's groups of children who experience this, who go through this, I'm glad that they're able to find each other, because when it isn't unique, when you can share the pain, when somebody understands you, you don't feel alone with it. And that is so important to your long-term prognosis, if you will. Additionally, and I am really grateful for this and understand that in a lot of ways I've been given an amazing opportunity and have nothing to complain about in this respect. I go to a really nice school. I love the grounds, I love my classes, I love the extracurriculars, I love my teachers, and I love my friends. The picture people paint of boarding school isn't the one that I experience. I'm so happy, babe. It's pretty easy for me to say that I prefer being at school 100 times more than I prefer being at my father and stepmom's home. When I'm in their home, I feel like an outsider. They do their thing and I do mine. It's especially awful though, because I still get the sense that my stepmother doesn't want me around when I'm there. She barely acknowledges me, and I know she influences my brother and sister not to interact with me. Oh my gosh, she sounds awful. I don't like her. I hate her. I know because I took them to a theme park 2 weeks back, and they told me this after a full day of having fun with each other. That evil monster is trying to get your younger siblings to not want anything to do with you. People like this are so disturbed, and I hope she gets what's coming to her. School. So, and as much as I appreciate that I get to have the experiences I do at school, I can't seem to distance myself from my distaste of my father and stepmom, obviously. So in order to avoid being disrespectful or coming off as rude, I just try to minimize the time I spend with them when I'm in their home for the summer. Again, their home. I don't have any friends here, so this means I go on hikes, go on runs, go to the movies, whatever I can just to be active or out and about without getting into trouble. Can I just say as well, you are 15 and the emotional maturity you're exhibiting is beyond your age, which is both impressive and also a little sad that it's necessary. But you seem like a wonderful kid. You seem like a wonderful kid. You seem smart. You seem introspective. You seem aware. You seem like you are going to be just okay. You're going to be just fine. You're going to make it through this. And you're going to come out the other side a strong, strong person. So I'm not worried for you. Which brings me to the problem. My father kind of blindsided me yesterday. He sat down with me while I was eating breakfast, which never happens, before going on a hike, and he told me he's concerned that I haven't wanted to spend time with the family. I was confused because I haven't ever perceived this need for him, nor any space for it. He works all year round and all day. My stepmother is always ferrying my brother and sister to something or off with her friends. I just didn't even think that they wanted that. He then said that he wants to keep me here for my final 2 years of high school and enroll me in the nearby private school so that I can be with the family. And I just panicked. I get stellar grades and I'm doing well at school. Every report he's gotten has been good. I expressed this to him, but I was so distraught at the idea of not going back that he insisted my distress was an indication of how unattached from the family I was. So not only is he going to send you away, he's now going to cut you off from the thing he sent you away to because he's feeling neglected. Someone smack this dad over the head with something. This is selfish, selfish, selfish. I know I could have handled it better, babe. You're 15 and you are handling everything better than that entire household. But I blew up at him after he said this. I told him he was the reason I wasn't attached to my family, and that removing me from school would only remove me from the one place I had any real family. This really made him angry, and he left saying he was resolved to remove me. Oh my God, this selfish, selfish little devil. I don't know what to do. How can I convince him to let me go back? I feel like I'm a kid again. It's the same feeling all over again, and I am so angry. Baby. I suspect that once your stepmother learns what your father has said, that she will convince him to change his mind. I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but the stepmother might actually be a good last resort strategy here. I'm obviously reading comments now. Someone says, the stepmother might actually be a good last resort strategy here. If you try the letter writing or having a friend's parent or teacher talk to your father and he doesn't change his mind, then you've got nothing to lose in trying to enlist your stepmother to convince him. For her own selfish reasons, it sounds like she would agree you should go back to this school, and she's probably the person most likely to influence her father. Exactly. OP says, I really hope so. Me too, OP. Okay, so we have an update posted on the same day. Update. I've been silent since the first few responses because I wanted to process all the suggestions coming my way. Again, very emotionally mature. First, thank you so much for your concern and kindness. It really helped me sit down and think more calmly about this situation. Girl, I wish I were your mom. I would want to adopt you. If you were my daughter, I would be so proud of you. Second, I decided to write an email to my father in which I apologized for my outburst, expressed my understanding that we should develop a better relationship, and my want for one as well. I don't really know if I want this, to be honest, but based on feedback, it seemed smart to include this. Girl, you are clever. And my belief that pulling me out of school would not result in that goal. I offered alternatives like FaceTiming regularly and more consistent visits during the holidays like Thanksgiving. I also suggested that maybe we should do something together during this holiday so that we could talk and catch up. We used to hike a lot together when I was a kid, and I suggested that we go on one together like this weekend. Again, you at 15 are the one resolving this relationship like a mature, responsible adult. It's mind-blowing to me. And again, it goes to show how much adults especially, and I can not put myself under this umbrella luckily, but so many adults diminish and reduce young people and even adult young people, but especially teenagers, to irrational, emotional, erratic, and all of these things. And it just goes to show that it's so much more complex than age, because this girl is 15 and listen to her. What a wonderful young girl. I would just really love to be her mom. I can feel these like really maternal feelings. I also explained that I feel I've been a responsible and productive student at the boarding school, pointing out that I head the diversity club, have provided peer tutoring each year since the 8th grade, and have maintained a good GPA, and that disrupting my schooling right now might be counterproductive. I explained that my outburst was due to these details rather than my not wanting to be closer to him. I closed out saying, I know he wants what's best for me. I hope this is true and I'll choose to believe it. And I want to work with him to make that happen. So now I'm waiting for his reply. I think this is a good email, by the way. I'm pretty anxious because I honestly don't know how he'll reply. I'm taking advice given to me here, though, and trying to make plans in my mind for any response. Even again, just the ability to take advice this well is again an indicator of your intelligence and your maturity. I haven't told any of my friends yet because I know they'll tell their parents who may contact him, and I can't be sure how he'll react to that. If he refuses my email, maybe I'll try to have an adult intervene. I'm still thinking it through. Anyway, thank you guys again. It's nice to know there are nice people all over. I'm absolutely I want to give this girl a hug. Baby. Okay, here's another update on the same day. He responded, OP's name. When we spoke, I told you I had made my decision. That stance has not changed, and I am disappointed that you have chosen to ignore my words. Do not forget that you are still a child under my care, despite what you might feel. One day you will see the wisdom in this and be thankful. I am currently on my way out on business and will be back on Saturday. Until I return and am able to speak in person, I do not want to hear or read another word about this issue. Is it mean to hope that something happens to him on his business trip? I want to contact my headmaster and dorm parent. I have good relationships with them, but now I really feel if they contact him, that will be the end of it. I think I effed this up. You did not F up anything. You have been nothing but gracious and kind and responsible beyond even twice your years. You didn't do anything wrong. Anything. I shouldn't have sent that email. I should have waited. I don't know. My friends' parents are all pretty influential, well known in my dad and stepmom's social circle, and I'm worried it will humiliate my dad/stepmom if they find out about this issue or try to intervene. I feel so paralyzed. They deserve to be humiliated for this. Absolutely. Okay, there's another update. The next day, I'm going back to school. Oh my God, I want to cry. I'm so happy for OP. And this entire thing happened in 2017. Oh my God, I wish I knew how she was doing now. She'll be what, 23 now? I want to know how she's doing. Okay. I'm going back to school. A lot has happened in a short period of time. I don't think I dealt with my father's email in the smartest way, but it worked. Well, then it was the smartest way. Advice telling me to speak to my stepmom really stuck with me. I felt so desperate that I spoke to my stepmom about the situation. It became obvious very quickly that she had no clue that my father had wanted this. She immediately left the room after I explained the situation. Like, this is so awful because this is like your stepmom just does not want you around, and that is awful. But this is funny. I mean, if you're going to find the humor, I could hear her arguing with him, saying it was a deal breaker and that she wouldn't have it. He called me soon after she hung up and sounded so very angry. He said it was clear I had made up my mind and didn't want to be part of the family. I want this man to suffer. He said that he had wanted time to let my stepmother know and wishes I had trusted him. I didn't even know how to start explaining why I feel his view of my feelings are so wrong before he told me that since I didn't even want to try working with him, he's sending me back. He ended the call saying, I hope you can deal with the consequences of your choices. Dad, it is your choice. You brought in a woman who did not want to know your child, and then you sent that child away to boarding school, and now you're trying to cut her off from the only place that she feels welcome and loved and at home because you did not want your home to be her home. She even refers to your home as their home, not our home. You are disgusting, Dad. I'm angry at him because I feel like so much of this is miscommunication on his part, but I'm happy more than anything because I get to go back. I'm so happy for you. Thank God. I'm going to lay low, be as nice to everyone as possible, and try to ride this out until school starts, which is soon. I'm so relieved. And then we have some final comments. One person says, Update 3 is effing glorious. He throws you away like garbage, tries to tear you away from your friends you made as a coping mechanism after his abandonment. Then when you suggest a reasonable compromise to meet his need for affection without hurting you, he tells you that your feelings don't matter, and he has the gall to act like you should have kept this secret from his wife. Out of what? Loyalty? Why would he think you'd have any reason to help him destroy everything happy in your life? What a self-absorbed effing moron. Yes, I agree. I hope you email him this comment of mine and some choice others from this thread. Don't actually. That a-hole needs a slap in the face with some perspective. I'm a grown-ass adult, and I don't see how on earth you'd thank him later for what he tried to do. Exactly. And I know this is not am I the a-hole post, but you're not the a-hole. Your dad was. Your stepmom was. And, yeah. Another person says, just saw update 3. Congrats. I'm glad this worked out. The things you know need to be shared someday, though. The a-hole, again, needs to know that you know he's full of the thing that a-holes are full of. Maybe wait until he doesn't have any control over your life, though. Exactly. Exactly. I'm so happy for you, OP. If you ever see this, I hope you're doing well in your life. I hope you got massive amounts of success and that you found the family and the love that you so deserve, you brilliant, brilliant girl. Okay, guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are about to fall asleep, good night. I love you.